Good evening. Welcome to Military Strategies. We are live right now, June 15, 2026. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America, announces that the war is over. They have reached an understanding with Iran, and this is as far as it goes, that the Iranian people will not be liberated, and that Iran will not hand over the uranium, and that never, ever they cared about regime change. Family, leave your likes and comments.
I have the honor of announcing to the entire Spanish-speaking community that on June 15, 2026, officially, the war ended on February 28. Trump has reached an agreement with Iran. Iran has reached an agreement with the United States. Now we're going to see everything. Now we're going to see all the details and everything that's happening. Family, thank you so much for being here live with us. Thank you for trusting this channel to keep you informed about what's happening, about what's going on. If you don't know the channel yet, it's really important, super important that you subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you know when we go live. What we obviously don't want is for things to happen to you, like our friend Danny Sam, who doesn't know the channel and says, "You're out of content, Danny Sam, my friend. You must not have been here long on this channel," because we've heard that phrase many times. Always, every day we end up talking about something. So, Danny Sam, subscribe and don't miss out. Don't worry, there are plenty of topics to talk about. I wish there was peace. I wish the war would end, but the war hasn't ended. There is no peace. What they've signed, you'll now see what it really is. Family, first of all, please stay calm. Nobody panic. Take a deep breath. Take it easy. It's not worth it. What we're going to see tonight is tough. Tough to take in. Tough to understand. But here on this channel, on military strategies, we're going to talk without censorship, without taboos. Say everything. We're not going to hold anything back. The time has come to put each letter in its place, each piece in the frame. This is as far as we go. We were saying it earlier this afternoon, talking with my brother Ariel Kaniewski, who, by the way, is currently busy. He can't come. He sends his apologies, but he has better things to do. I think that's just fine. Besides, good news for Israel. It looks like they won't attack tonight. It seems that Israel has spared their lives because Donald Trump made a series of last-minute concessions that are outrageous. But I want to show you something. All the commotion in the Strait of Hormuz, the whole Hormuz situation, all that massive naval blockade, that was happening because of some mines. Do you remember? Iran had placed some mines. Iran was closing the Strait of Hormuz. Well, pay attention to this. We're starting strong. We're starting strong. Military topics first. Hormuz right now. Donald Trump has said the Strait of Hormuz will be opened immediately. Ships will start passing through. Let the oil flow. Come on, friends. Let's do business. Well, let's do the math. What we're seeing here is we're looking at. They just appeared 51 minutes ago. At the moment when Donald J. Trump said that the war was over, I think they could be mines.
I think they were placed there by Iran. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 mines. Those are the ones Iran had placed in the Strait of Hormuz. United States, NATO, Europe, the whole world. It has been held hostage by 12 mines that no one has been able to remove. No one has gone there to remove Iran's mines. 12 mines. Governments spend millions of dollars and euros every year on military mine clearing exercises. No one has gone to remove 12 mines. You're seeing it. That's it. There's nothing else. That's it. 12. Iran has had us all held hostage with 12 mines. Not even in World War II did we see such a deployment of mines. 12. My goodness. 12 mines. It was a catastrophe. The world would end due to 12 mines. Gasoline prices are rising due to 12 mines. Get ready tonight because you're going to be amazed by everything we have for you. Thank you very much. The cover is no joke. Trump says France gave in to Iran. Pay attention to this. I'm going to read a little to you. Well, before I start, I want to say something. My deepest respect and admiration and condolences to the more than 50,000 Iranians killed by their country in the month of January. From the free world, which I believe we are, as just an ordinary citizen, I want to say I'm sorry. We feel the same way. We've been deceived. Why do I say this? Why am I so harsh in saying this? We'll dig into the archives tonight. Excuse me for a couple. Month of January. In the month of January, Donald J. Trump came out to tell us something. To the people of Iran, to the Iranians, to those who were protesting. On January 13, 2026, at 9:43 in the morning, the President of the United States of America, the Commander-in-Chief of the United States of America, he came out with a message. This one. The one you're about to see right now. Iranian patriots, keep protesting. Take control of your institutions. Write down the names of the murderers and abusers. They will pay a high price. I have canceled all my meetings with Iranian officials until the senseless killings of protesters stop.
The aid, it's underway. NIGA, make Iran great again. President Donald J. Trump. The Iranians kept going out into the streets. They kept protesting. They did their part. And the aid still hadn't arrived. A week went by, then another. More than a month passed. And it didn't come. February 28th. 2026. It feels like it was yesterday.
February 28th. Hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered.
There he was. The first public appearance of Donald J. Trump after declaring war on Iran together with Israel, the two of them hand in hand with a very clear mission. Iran cannot have nuclear weapons. The uranium will be destroyed. The missiles will be destroyed. The proxies will be destroyed. And the people of Iran will be free. February 28, 2026. We're going to listen to it. We have to listen to him. Because this is the president that millions of Americans voted for. No!
Finally, for the great people
Of Iran. Proud of Iran.
I say tonight that the hour of
I tell you tonight that the time of your freedom,
is in.
your hands.
Stay sheltered.
Seek shelter. Stay sheltered.
Don't leave your home.
Don't leave the house.
It's very dangerous outside.
Very dangerous out there.
Bombs will be dropping everywhere.
Bombs will be dropping everywhere.
When we finish,
Take over your government and
will be yours to take.
it will be yours to take.
This will probably be your only chance for generations.
This will perhaps be your only chance for generations.
For years, you have asked for America's help,
For many years, you have asked America for help. No,
but you never got it.
but you never had it.
No president was willing to do what I am willing to do tonight.
No president was willing to do what I am going to do tonight. See. February 28th, 2026 now.
You now have a president
A president who's giving,
you what you want.
who will give you what you want.
So let's see how you respond.
So let's see how you respond.
America is backing you with
America is going to back you with
overwhelming strength and devastating force.
strong and devastating force.
Is it time to seize control of your destiny?
Now is the time to take control of your destiny,
Unleash the prosperous and glorious future
of a glorious and prosperous future.
is close within your reach. This is the moment for action.
This is the moment for action.
Do not let it pass.
Do not let it pass. 57 seconds period. I remain silent. I sit down. I really mean it. I have no words. I'm left speechless. Israel trusted him. The people of Iran trusted him. This was on February 28th. Well then, please, I want you to see this. I want you to take a good look at it. I'm really sorry. I'm not going to make content. I'm telling you. Now, I'm not going to make content to please someone. More or less, I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry. There are a lot of topics to talk about today. In fact, there is already breaking news about Netanyahu. Don't worry, we're going all in, but this topic needs to be made very clear. This topic needs to be made absolutely clear. Trump via June 15, 2026. It goes like this. As for regime change, I never cared about regime change. This is the third group we've dealt with, and this is the most rational group so far. I'm going to put it up for the people who can't process it right now. I'm going to put the image with the text. Regarding regime change, I repeat, regarding regime change, I never cared about regime change. This is the third group we've dealt with, and this is the most rational group so far. February 28th, you've heard. Continuing the program is difficult. I'm serious. This might be the most difficult show for me because I have to do it in such a way that this doesn't look like a full-scale attack on what's happening. But I'm a human being. And I'm really sorry. The people of Iran have been misled. I'm really sorry. That's how it is. Careful, because attention to the Republican Party. Now let's see where all of this that's happening comes from, or where it originates. Who are the figures that pushed this agreement? The person who brought this agreement, J.D. Bain, Witkoff, Jared Kushner, and 2 or 3 more. Among them, Qatar, Pakistan, and Oman. I'll show you the headline that Trump has published to say that this is over. The war is over. That's what Trump says. First, the president of Pakistan. Here's the original text. I'll translate it into Spanish since we'll be translating a lot today. Thank you. You're going to see who they've put there, and this is terrible. This is horrible. It's hard to digest. Besides, it's a surrender. And now you'll see why. After intense negotiations, we are pleased to announce that a peace agreement has been reached between the United States of America and the Islamic Republic of Iran. Both parties have announced an immediate and final end to military operations on all fronts, including Lebanon. The official signing ceremony will take place on Friday, June 19th in Switzerland. We want to thank the United States of America and the Islamic Republic of Iran for their commitment to seeking a diplomatic solution to the conflict. We also express our sincere gratitude to our brothers in this mediation effort, the great leadership of the State of Qatar for its support in reaching this agreement. We especially thank the visionary leadership of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the Republic of Turkey for their immense contributions in this regard. Once the agreement is reached, the mediators will facilitate a series of meetings this week. These pre-implementation talks will lay the groundwork for the technical negotiations and the official signing ceremony. Thanks to Donald J. Trump, J.D. Bain, Secretary Rubio, Steve Witkoff, C.P. Smith, P.C. Skian, Galibaf, and Arrachi. Please remove Rubio, because Rubio has not signed this. Don't involve Marco Rubio in this. We know where this comes from. They're bringing in Marco Rubio to make people believe there's no disagreement on this issue. Donald J. Trump, how did he announce it? Thank you. Look at the image. This is shameful. The agreement with the Islamic Republic of Iran is already complete. Congratulations to everyone on this. I fully authorize toll-free passage through the Strait of Hormuz and simultaneously authorize the immediate lifting. The United States naval blockade. Ships of the world, start your engines. Let the oil flow. President Donald J. Trump, thank you. I'm letting the silence hang because I know we're all thinking the same thing. We're all thinking the same thing. Let the oil flow. What has flowed is the blood of Iranians since January who are being executed in Iran. That's the only thing that has flowed. What has flowed is blood. Of Israelis and Arabs, Israeli Arabs, Palestinian Arabs. They have been hit by missiles from Iran since February 28th. What has spread is anti-Semitism around the world. It's spreading even more. Everything has been spreading except for oil. Let them take the oil. Let them take their ships, their planes. Let them take them. There is something above all that. Your word, loyalty, and honor. Not this. Yeah. To liberate a people who have been enslaved since the Islamic Revolution began. For Iran, this won't be the only chance they have to free themselves from what they're experiencing. I'm sure the time for loyalty will come. Oivai Shai. I want to hold on to hope, to give a bit of meaning to the lives of millions of people who are right now, especially women who are right now, under the yoke of Iran. All right, let's continue. Tonight, Iran was ready to attack. We've said it. In fact, they were preparing. They were preparing the missiles. Everything was ready. Iran decided at the last minute not to attack Israel. They decided at the last minute because the blockade was lifted immediately, and Trump promised them the withdrawal of Israel from Lebanon. Trump has promised the immediate withdrawal of Israel from Lebanon. It's on Yahoo. He has responded to. Told him. Do you know what Vivi told him? The IDF is not going to withdraw from Lebanon. Israel does not consider itself bound by the Lebanon clause in the agreement between the United States and Iran. Let's see how long Vivi lasts. Right now, confirmed. As of June 15, 2026, an E-42 in Israel. Israeli aircraft are extremely active over Lebanon right now. The Joint Military Command of Iran confirms that the people of Iran, under the command of the Supreme Leader, have shown the United States that there is no other way but to accept defeat. Jenny Baines said that during the Israeli attack on Beirut, we saw signs that the Iranians planned to launch many missiles at Israel. Through our talks, we ensured they wouldn't respond to Israel and would sign the agreement for peace. I'm already telling you where the story is coming from, where it's coming from. The Prime Minister of Qatar, the one who was secretly negotiating with Iran to raise gas prices, he didn't care that some people lacked heating. Meanwhile, they live in luxury mansions, luxury yachts, a life of luxury. That's as far as I'll go. We could go on all night. He says he celebrates and welcomes the Memorandum of Understanding. Very well. Thank you. The Deputy Foreign Minister of Iran said Tehran did not approve the Memorandum of Understanding until its final demands were included in the text. The Deputy Foreign Minister of Iran said negotiations will only begin once the assets are unfrozen, the blockade is lifted, and the war is over. The armed forces will remain with their finger on the trigger. Let's keep going. We haven't reached the big explosion yet. To the to the last rocket. Iran's Fars news agency claims that Trump... Let's play background music so people calm down a bit. The Fars news agency claims that Trump has offered concessions that include guarantees on Lebanon's territorial integrity, Israeli withdrawal from the border area with Lebanon, immediate lifting of the blockade, and coordination Iran and Oman to regulate maritime traffic in the Persian Gulf. Now, Iran and Oman are going to control the Persian Gulf. So far, the only thing on the list that is completely confirmed by J.D. Baines is the lifting of the blockade on Iran. Boom! J.D. Baines on Fox News. Iran is permanently blocked from pursuing, acquiring, or obtaining a nuclear weapon. The Strait of Hormuz opens immediately. The U.S. naval blockade is lifted and major investment in the region moves forward. If Iran keeps its promise, an investment paid for with 50,000. This memorandum of understanding, says the Iranian foreign minister, has been drafted despite the lack of trust. We will be monitoring the United States side and its commitments, and the final agreement will be reached in 60 days. Iran just won 60 days. They just laughed at the United States and at Donald J. Trump. Iranian television claims that they have reached an agreement and that Iran imposed its will on the enemy, forcing America to accept the end of the war on all fronts. Iran says that traffic in the Persian Gulf will be managed under a new coordination mechanism between Tehran and Oman. But we're still going. Let's keep going. Donald J. Trump. That's how he presented it. I think we've shown it. I'm already getting... There it is. It's complete. Now, the blockade is lifted. The blockade is over. Now they get the money to make missiles, to make drones. Right. Pay attention to this. This is the bombshell. What's going on with uranium? What do you think will happen with the uranium? Any suggestions about the uranium? Well, Donald Trump has said it. Pay attention to what's going to happen with the uranium, family. 1248 Spanish time, 148 in Israel. Uranium to build 10 to 11 nuclear bombs capable of wiping out Israel and the Middle East. We are live right now, 15,000 people. We still need a lot more likes, family. Only 7,000 likes. No, there are 17,000 people. Excuse me. What has Donald J. Trump said about uranium? We'll get it. Nuclear dust later. When we're ready to go in and do it, I'd say in the next month or two, there's no rush. It's harmless. Good evening. Welcome to Military Strategies. And welcome to the harmless dust. They are not going to hand over the uranium. And Donald Trump accepts that Iran does not hand over the uranium. Donald Trump dodges the issue and says that uranium is not important, and that he will get the powder later on, in a month or two, and that there's no rush, that it's harmless, and they're not ready to go in and do it. Well, if, after moving troops from January 2026 to June 2026, you're not ready to take the uranium, the United States military has a problem. Now he calls himself incompetent. So right there, we'll get it. The nuclear dust, later, when we're ready to go in and do it. What do you mean we're not ready? But he said it would be very easy that they could go in and take it. He said, if we want it even tonight, it's not easy anymore. Uranium isn't important anymore. What happened to the missiles? What happened to the proxies? What happened to the nuclear plants? Why don't they publish the memorandum? Why isn't the memorandum being published? so that we all find out. They're not going to publish it. They're not going to publish it. The United Kingdom, France, and Germany issued a joint statement welcoming the memorandum. Now they're going to go remove 12 mines. The United Kingdom, France, Germany, and Italy will remove 12 mines from the Strait of Hormuz. $24 billion, according to the Mayor News Agency, unfrozen. But be careful, because Trump just published President of the United States of America. He just published his legacy. Please, read it. This great agreement will bring peace and security to the entire region. Many presidents have tried to make peace with Iran, and all of them have failed before me. The leaders of the region have found, for the first time, a president who can help them achieve true peace with the opening of the strait, the signing of Friday's agreement to remove the mines. The oil will flow again at both ends for the region and the world. President Donald J. Trump. That is, on Friday, when they send a boat to pick up 12 mines, which are here on a public map, 12 mines, when they collect the 12 mines, that will be the big victory. The big victory will be that Iran is going to remove 12 mines from the Strait of Hormuz. There was a message here from someone in the channel who said, I'm leaving the channel. The ads are too long. And Estrategias has more war and suffering. Long live peace and go to hell, Estrategias. Don't have a nuclear weapon. You come back if it hasn't fallen on you and you live to tell about it. I don't want any more war. What I want is a world where there is freedom, where women can walk down the street without a veil, if they want to. It's their choice. Where no one is persecuted for their sexual orientation, where human rights are respected, where no one bombs cities with cluster missiles, ballistic missiles, or drones, where people are not kidnapped and burned in ovens, where they're not put in tunnels, where babies are not taken. I'm not going to say it in front of his mother. Not his. No. That's what Estrategias wants. Suffering? I've been in Israel while I was being bombed too. And I've seen it with my own eyes. And I've seen a lot of people having anxiety attacks. Can't live like this. So Tony from Barcelona, who's probably doing just fine in Barcelona and has never been hit by missiles. No one wants to drop a nuclear bomb on him, even if some Barcelona neighborhoods aren't safe to walk in. Because it seems like Gaza. With respect to our friends from Barcelona, best wishes and lots of love to them. You don't know about Alonso, so you shouldn't give your opinion. And thank you for leaving the channel. Thank you. It's appreciated. I'm going to make one thing clear. Here on this channel, there are 20,000 conflicts to talk about. There are 20,000 news stories a day. And here we talk about everything. Earthquakes, tsunamis, cataclysms, curious things about nature, incidents that happen in some country. We can talk about anything. And I think we've proven that by doing it sensibly. I'm not going to judge if it's good or bad. That's for others to decide. Each person decides if they like the content. But at least with common sense and without lying. It is what it is. If the war with Iran ends, I think that's good. But it has to end the way it should. And here is a man who is the president of a great nation, like the United States of America, who represents unique values on our planet, in which many soldiers have given their lives during many wars for that freedom. And in this one on February 28, there have also been Americans who have died. So that now they say the oil is flowing. I'm very sorry if you don't like it. Leave. 3 channels down. They're going to tell you that everything is fine and that Trump is wonderful and long life peace. And tomorrow we're all going to sit in front of a teepee to smoke the peace pipe. Well, no, there's no teepee or pipe. Some guys want to build missiles and nuclear weapons. And the problem is still there. And before February 28th, things were more or less okay. Now it's worse. Let's see how they react in Iran. I think they've made an agreement. So this isn't published in full, because things could go really badly for Arachi and Ghalibad in Iran. Ghalibad, who has already started doing a sort of purge in the style of Elsie Rodriguez, trying to get rid of those who are loyal to the regime. Because they are. Trump, right now, just said something. Let me make something clear. I'm reading what Trump says. I'm giving my opinion. Obviously, I have to give it. And what I believe, I have to give it. I won't add anything here. I think Trump is making a mistake. And badly too. But be careful, because 1,000 things could happen between now and the 19th. Because everyone here is talking about Iran and the United States. Well, there's also a country called Israel. No one is factoring it. But it's the country that has faced an enemy on all fronts at the same time. The only one, and it's still standing. Let no one be mistaken about this. This Qatari-Turkish-Iranian alliance, that is not going to change. That the capital is Jerusalem. Let them be under no illusion. And, well, that's it. There's not much more. Another story, another chapter. Frank thinks this is going to work out for him. Let's see. Let's watch it. Let's watch. It's like Gaza. What happened there worked. That mega meeting of Arab countries to disarm Hamas has worked. Where are the Indonesian troops? Where are the troops from some country or other? Troops from Albania were also going to disarm Hamas. Where are they? Nowhere. No one. Everyone sat at a table. Everyone sat in some huge hotel. They had a feast. They shook hands. They signed papers. And where's Hamas? Controlling 60% of the Gaza Strip. It's the same thing. It's the same. Now, the United States is not going to have a group of Marines there at the door of Isfahan, at Fordow, and at Natanz to control what they are doing with the uranium. We're not stupid. Be honest, Mr. President. We've gotten into a war. I thought they would fall in a week, and they haven't. And since they haven't fallen, I'm withdrawing. But don't try to sell this to us as a great victory. Thank you. People in Israel are currently sleeping tonight with their clothes and shoes on, because they don't know if they'll have to run to a shelter. And we who are very comfortable, each living in our own country, in our own home, with a better or worse life, the one God has given each of us. And thank God for giving us life. We really don't realize what people are going through. We don't realize it. Refuge in oil. Let's listen to J.D. Vance. Let's listen to him. Now let's watch videos. Goodbye. Although people are now attacking Trump because of the February 28 video where he was acting really cocky. You're going to take over the institutions, freedom, and so on. This is what? It's a defeat. We have to accept and swallow it. Is that it? D-Baines.
Constant chaos of the region. What the president has done is created the real space to transform that region, cooperation between the Gulf Arab allies and the Israelis, and now hopefully a new era with the Iranians. Again, we're going to verify and ensure.
J.D. Vance says that what Donald J. Trump has done is transform the region so that there is an alignment between Israel and the rest of the countries, and now also with Iran. But let's see. They still don't realize in the United States, even with all the intelligence people they have, that Iran is not looking to coexist with Israel or with the rest.
That they're keeping their promise. This is great for the American people.
He says this is a very big thing for the American people. What? That they're going to keep burning flags and saying what they say. That's great.
I know that they suffered from high gas prices. The president has...
He says, I know you're suffering because of the high price of gasoline.
Been very concerned about that fact. But what we're going to be able to do is drive down the cost of energy, he says.
But what we're going to be able to do now is lower the price of energy.
Not just now, but for the long term, he says.
Not just for now, but for a long time.
Create a real engine of prosperity in the Middle East.
And create a future of prosperity in the Middle East.
Where Americans benefit from those lower energy prices.
Because America is going to benefit from those low energy prices.
Low gas prices, and we don't have the same risk of chaos that we've had.
We won't have the risk of chaos that we've had. So why are you getting into a war? If the price was already low. Why have you kept saying you'll sign tomorrow, then not signing, then saying you'll bomb, then not bombing? Why does the price keep fluctuating? I suppose someone must have told you before you got into a war that Iran was going to close the Strait of Hormuz. I guess you had a plan to stop them from closing it. I suppose that at some point someone would go to the office of J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, or Donald J. Trump, or Pete Hess, the Secretary of War, and say, sir, I have the action plan ready for this contingency. It arrived. They read it, they executed it. Or maybe they didn't want to execute it.
The last generation, a great win for the American people.
He says this is a great victory, a great achievement for the American people.
Thank you. I know this has been a moment for many Americans.
He says, I know this is going to be a tough moment for many Americans.
He says it's going to be a moment for America.
He says, but we've achieved something big for them. What is it? That your country on January 13th promised help was on the way. That your country on February 28th told the Iranian people they were going to get their lives back. and that they won't get them back because in reality, it didn't really care about regime change. I'm sorry, but no. No. It doesn't work like that. The world can't work like that. Our world can't work like that. Baines, pay attention to what Dissel is about to say.
Israelis struck Beirut. About to say,
After Israel attacked Beirut, we saw much evidence that Iran would launch many missiles at Israel.
the Israelis, with our communication with them through the
With our communication with them,
to this peace agreement, they assured us that they were not going to respond to the Israelis.
they assured us that they were not going to respond to the Israelis. They were going to sign the agreement and achieve peace.
And they were going to sign this agreement and achieve peace.
Of course, you know what they were afraid of here, right? What they were afraid of in all this was that tonight Iran would launch missiles. Also, see what he said. They had many missiles ready. I wasn't far off when they said Central Israel. They're going to strike Central Israel so that everyone finds out. They also knew Israel would respond. And this time they would respond like there was no tomorrow. That would end everything, including the entire show being set up at the White House. With UFC fighters with motorcycles doing flips on the White House lawn like they've been doing today. Anyway, circus. This is a circus. No. So they were worried. They weren't worried, even though Hezbollah had been launching drones, missiles, and rockets at northern Israel for 5 days. No. The concern was that they were going to launch missiles against Israel from Iran, and that Israel was going to destroy them. That Israel was going to do what they hadn't done themselves since the war started. Well, we have the 14 points. We have the 14 points. Get ready. Fasten your seatbelts. Get ready for the 14 points. Thanks. We're ready. How many of us are here, family? I'd like to see where you're watching from tonight. There are a lot of us. 17,395 people. I can't believe it either. I'm checking the chat. I'm looking right now. It's unbelievable. We have 10,000 likes. We're missing 7,000, family. Please, because this one could really get censored. We're being very clear about our view of what's happening here. We have the draft of the 14 points together. You're going to be amazed. You're going to be amazed. Let's do it. Iran, $24 billion. According to this document, creation of a monitoring mechanism and support from the UN Security Council for the final agreement. The UN will be the guarantor. I'm liking this more and more. If the UN is involved, we're good. Point number 14. Does anyone know what number 14 is? Does anyone know what number 14 is? See? Unheard of. I can't believe it. Number 14. Yeah. No, Iran's missile programs and support for allied regional groups would be excluded from the talks. This is not an agreement. This is not a negotiation. This is surrendering to Iran. It's surrender. We're alone. Meanwhile, I think the cathedral in Kiev is burning. By the way, just to lighten things up a bit more. Netanyahu is silent. I love it when Bibi is quiet. Because we never know what he's going to do next. We don't know if Bibi is currently on a plane to Washington to find out what's happening there. Filtrado ellos. Or what's happening. The thing is, they leaked this themselves. I know. We'll have to see if Donald Trump is going to come out and say, no, this is a lie. It could be. It might be. I'm in shock right now. I'm here right now. This is an X file. What happened to us? Something has happened. Something must have happened for this to fall apart. Day 19. Why didn't they sign tonight? What's going to happen between now and the night? Things. It's confirmed. He wants to know what you think. Geneva will attend. Kalibaf is victorious. And Geneva will also attend. Iran waits until after midnight local time to finalize the agreement, avoiding signing it on Trump's birthday. The 7.5-hour time difference with Tehran allowed Washington to sign on Donald J. Trump's birthday, while Iran signed the day after. This is childish. Minister of Foreign Affairs of Turkey, Hakan Fidan. We welcome the agreement reached with the purpose of ending the war between the United States and Iran. This agreement constitutes an important milestone on the path toward establishing peace and stability in the region. We hope the follow-up negotiations will continue constructively. I want to see what Trump says in the video. Let's go to the comments. This is crazy. But maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. What does the community say? With Trump, things are unpredictable. He could announce a deal one day and change direction the next. We'll need to wait, as this is part of a larger strategy. Thank you. Of course, there's a strategy that flows with oil. Trump has said it, that it's all about oil, that he wasn't really interested in regime change. And that's my full support for the people of Israel. Shalom. In the end, after the disappointment of the century, after talking so much about Obama's deal, he made the worst, a total disappointment.
Worse than Obama. Worse.
Pac-Man, thanks for supporting military strategies. Welcome. I hope you enjoy the content. Jenny says Trump is not going to let it end like this, not for Israel, but for his ego. We're in a boy who cried wolf situation. I don't think so. I don't think we realize how critical the situation we're facing right now is. This makes no sense. It's up to Israel to finish the job, says Manu. It should. Maria, what a disappointment Trump is. Welcome.
Wow.
Rome controlled the physical movement of value. Modern financial networks control the digital movement of value. Which wallet the new system, FINA? I don't know right now what this has to do with anything, but maybe it definitely does. Thank you for the super chat. Let's see. Let's keep going. There are many comments today. I don't know how to express the huge outrage I feel right now, my friend. I totally disagree with this absurd and ridiculous agreement. Peace to Israel. Lorenzo, may God bless the Lion of Israel with his peace. But to Dr. Gatel. Now, I think I'm going to go to the Jewish connection. I'll stop by there to see what's going on. Let's continue. Today, history is being made. For the first time, the United States surrenders to an adversary that is weaker. For some reason we don't know. You don't see this very often. Family, we are live right now on Military Strategies, your information channel telling you what's happening, what's going on. Don't go anywhere else for it. Here on Military Strategies, you can experience it minute by minute in real time. Let's continue. Nilo, thank you so much, my friend. They did something to Trump in China. He's up to something, says Manu. Strategies, should Marcos Rubio resign and distance himself from these decisions? No. Marcos has to stay where he is. Third shot. Let JD drive the truck. Don't worry, Maribel. Marco will come slowly and carefully. That's the hope, Marco Rubio. People in Iran and Israel now face what happened in Venezuela. We'll see who the next victim is. Except Minos Querata. Well, good news for Cuba. Supposedly now, back in the United States, the island is going to be liberated. Minos Querata, what do you think? I don't think that's going to happen. When Marco becomes president, they will be remembered as the day the most powerful country in the world laughs in the face of it. By the way, on the birthday of its leader, the future of the United States doesn't look good. A tough day. This is an extremely tough day. Let's keep going. More super chats. Araceli, thank you so much for being here with us. Greetings. Josete, welcome. Welcome. Pamira, thank you very much. Our friend Hernan says, estrategias. Now I see why the leaders of Europe didn't want to participate. They realized that Trump was going to leave them to their fate. Great job, estrategias. Of course, just imagine if the United Kingdom or France showed up there. Now, they get involved in the war, and then Trump says, no, it's over. That's it. Let the oil flow. $300 billion, 26 billion already unlocked. Let it flow. Let love flow. See you. When Trump comes for the schedule, the tanks will already be full and it will be too late. Memo of a narcissist. I will never admit defeat. It says in hand 5,522. Callisto and Melivia. I want you to go live right after the midterm elections to see how Iran will be destroyed. The USA isn't a regime. Iran answers to no one. We will bully. But I think that if Trump takes all the military equipment he's taken right now, he won't deploy it again. He won't deploy it again. That's many millions of American taxpayer dollars tied up in what I've deployed in the Middle East right now. I don't think so, my friend. Trump will do whatever it takes not to look bad in the midterm elections. You'll see he'll strike Iran hard with Israel. Stop dividing. For now, this is what we have. Bully, my friend. This isn't a show about esotericism. We don't know the future. We don't know. As of today, the uranium is in Iran. The regime is still in power. The missiles are still there, and Iran is still threatening Israel. I don't care what happens in October, because we don't know if we'll even make it to October since they have enough uranium for 10 nuclear bombs. Thank you. When we buy a crystal ball, we'll put it in the studio. We'll start testing it, moving it, and looking inside the ball to see what will happen with the elections. I really like the moderators' content. Their work is excellent, and they're truly unique. Those of us who saw this here in the USA know what can happen if this continues. He needs to get through the midterm elections. Then you'll see, for God's sake, there's no time. Besides, Iran knows it. We just gave Iran from this June until October to build a nuclear weapon. Obama must be laughing out loud. Obama must be having a good drink right now. That's outrageous. Is outraged about signing this agreement, calling it dishonorable and uncaring. The spilled blood is shameful, and we demand consequences. It's just like this morning's message, right? If the answer is no, since no one has died, then there's no problem. Don't respond. Why would you respond? Of course. If the answer is no, if no one has died, right? What does it matter? He fires some missiles. Some drones. It's no big deal, man. With this mistake, hope for Cuba is gone. We'll have to wait for Marco Rubio to become president. I'd leave this to Marco Rubio. I'm frustrated too. But I know this cost Trump. If Democrats win, you'll see it's just a setback. Have faith. Trump went in looking to gain something and came out worse off. Iran, the big winner of the saga because it came out stronger. Now they're going to buy new radars. They'll go to China, buy missiles, and start all over again. Strategies. Israel and the United States must wait for the mice to come out of the cave to take them out. Trump knows they'll go after him when his third year ends. I love the positivity that's out there. Positive people and people who can see the future. Hey, I don't know. How can you know all this? Will they crush Iran in the third year? I don't know. I really don't know. Don't get involved in Cuba. It'll make things worse. My family has it so bad. They sometimes go 3 days without electricity. The unfortunate people of Iran will continue. Now everyone wants to call the United States to come liberate them. Now there is even more control over the population. But they're even worse. He looks set to be Churchill, but he seems more like Chamberlain. Strategy shows the power of the Prince of Persia, who even delayed Michael. This delay is not the end. There's no time. There's just no time, Lorenzo. There's no time. Jogar, I donate and support strategies clearly and concise. I like clarity. What do you want me to say? This should look, well, this, no, you have to give it time. You shouldn't wait until after the elections. You shouldn't. Listen to me. He could lose the elections for 1,000 reasons. Not just because of the Iran thing. He'll probably lose because of the ICE thing. Mark my words. It's just that it seems like the world revolves around, there isn't, it's terrible. Terrible. The world doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Elena Ruiz, thank you very much. Marisa, it's a crushing defeat. What a shame. It's a defeat. It's a surrender this way. I'm seeing everyone here in shock. Golda says, I'm more and more convinced that Iran already has the nuclear bomb. Golda could be an option. Let her have the nuke, because this looks like a surrender. Alejandra, there won't be a 19th. Thank you. There won't be a 19th. Yes, it's the most subjective channel of information. When they say peace and security, sudden destruction will come, and be Saljai Shalom. Thank you for that super chat, my friend. Armandito, I really hope I'm wrong. I hope so, Armandito. Thank you so much. Pablo, it's about time things calm down a bit. Hopefully we won't see war here for a while. Pablo, I think that... Look, Pablo, there's a video on this channel, in the video section, that talks about Iran's missile cities and about the Iranian nuclear program. A video that lasts about 40 minutes, half an hour or something like that. I suggest that anyone who believes this will calm things down should watch the video and understand what kind of group of people Israel is now risking its future with. Because you will understand it. I don't think so, and neither do you. Anyone who's followed this channel from the start knows what we mean. Because we've given the evidence, the proof, everything about how they were building the nuclear weapon. And we've told you about it. There will be no peace. It's very complicated for there to be peace. Antonio, we missed a rare chance to take down Iran, and I don't know why. The worst part about Trump is that he lost his honor. Antonio, I'm in shock. I believe this is due to J.D. Baines. That's my opinion. I think this comes more from J.D. Baines and the pressure from the Witkoff group and his brother-in-law, Kushner. His son-in-law, sorry, his son-in-law. I'm Cuban, and after seeing this, I don't trust anything now. What? Who's going to trust now? Defeat of the West. The same will happen with Cuba. Trump only wants Republican votes from Florida for the November midterms. Right? Now, very true. HCT Miami. Honestly, I don't believe in this. If it's true, nothing will happen in Cuba. This isn't over with Iran, and Cuba is even more dangerous than the Ayatollahs. Well, the story isn't over with Iran. Israel has said that this agreement doesn't matter to them. They have another issue. The United States has its own issues and interests, and Israel will seek its security by its own means. They may attack Iran on their own, use intelligence services, or do 1,000 things that come to mind day by day. And Israel is very imaginative. Cuba in America, there's a saying that it's better to go alone than in bad company, and Israel has to go alone. Strategies. Yes, yes, Bibi, drop the dead weight. Nilo Rojas. I'm not sure which super chat I had since it was deleted. I don't know why. Thanks for the super chat, Nilo. Also, Marisa, your super chat got removed. Please, don't post things that are too... because you harm the channel. No, depending on the comments, control yourselves a bit. I said that we need to control ourselves a bit today. And look a little, right? Those 14 agreement points are embarrassing. In Cuba, they won't accomplish anything. This man is delusional and only causes stock market swings. The agreement is between the United States and Iran. It doesn't include Israel. Therefore, Israel will continue with its right to self-defense, always. It's a sovereign country. Or at least that's what we believe. Or so we were told. Andrea Villar has also been here. Catherine, peace enforced by repression isn't true peace. Trump is defending democracy in the Middle East's only democratic country. We don't know. It's very clear that Israel will have to act alone on all these unresolved issues that the incompetent Trump couldn't solve. Possibly, yes. Selva! Thank you for those 50 memberships plus another 5,100 memberships from Selva. Please, everyone in the chat, thank Selva for that amazing collection, 100 memberships for military strategies. Thank you so much. Thank you. Goal achieved, 50 out of 50. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. We've reached the super chat goal. Thank you. I wish we had reached an agreement. But what for Iran to truly be free? We have to think of something. And I think this is very clear. Here, different scenarios open up for us. One is that Israel makes a big move between now and the 19th. But they stir things up even more. And they say, come on, that's it. We should. I do my own thing. Trump seems fine to me. They will never be able to turn their backs on us because they know what we mean to them, because the United States needs Israel, just like Israel needs the United States. Thank you very much. That clear. I think Israel has to make a decision and do it faster. Look at what the New York Times said. Trump said that if Iran failed to reach a final nuclear agreement with the United States, he would resume military attacks against Tehran or make the United States the guardian of the Middle East in exchange for 20% of the region's revenues. The United States was going to offer. We see that the mixed martial arts show has already been set up. An event will happen there in a few days. They've already set up the whole circus there. Let's hope that they can see, because there are a few thousand people, including some Americans, who won't be able to see it. Trump says or said that the United States and Iran are still negotiating key details of a final nuclear agreement, including whether Iran will suspend uranium enrichment for 15 to 20 years. He said that under any eventual agreement, Iran would be restricted to low-level uranium enrichment. I think there aren't enough technically qualified people here to explain to Donald J. Trump that there's no such thing as 60% uranium, or 5% uranium, or 3% uranium, or 1% uranium. Uranium starts being enriched from zero, and you can enrich it as much as you want, up to 100%. It's not like you make low-enriched uranium. You can centrifuge it repeatedly until it's enriched, with its technical limitations, obviously. There aren't enough people here with the expertise to explain to this man what he's getting into. And now, in 15 to 20 years, the children, the people who are being born now in Israel, if Israel still exists by then, considering how things are, they will have to face this problem. Well, in 15 years, when you come back and watch this show, if YouTube is still around, which we don't know either, you already know what your generation has to do. Israel, let them go alone. Let it be militarily independent. Let it build its own weapons and finish the job by itself. Don't ask. Let it do it. Forget it. Let the rest look out for themselves. You do it. Don't wait for the others to come. And make sure that what you start, you finish. Because then things turn against you. Trump said that his decision to attack Iran and then impose a naval blockade after Tehran closed the Strait of Hormuz had reshaped the Middle East in favor of the United States. Okay. For Netanyahu is very difficult. He should be very grateful to us for doing this. Because if Iran had a nuclear weapon, Israel wouldn't last 2 hours. Mother of God. Let's see. This is the New York Times. I want to stress this. I'm going to repeat it. Let's read again what Donald J. Trump says about Israel. Friends of Israel. Friends of the channel, we are live right now. I'm in shock. This is shocking. Netanyahu is a very difficult guy. He should be very grateful to us for doing this. Because if Iran had a nuclear weapon, Israel wouldn't last 2 hours. I can't believe it. Trump said he's going to restart the attacks if there's no final nuclear agreement. Very well. The 60 days he's going to send the Navy and the planes there again to attack Iran. Of course. Hold my drink, I'm going. He's going to go with the golf clubs. That's what they're saying. I'm leaving this shitty anti-Trump channel. John Jersey, have a good trip. Let us know when you arrive. Sounds great. Go ahead and leave. Fantastic. This is incredible. Anti-Trump. Now we're anti-Trump. That's it. Tomorrow we're a red communist channel. Tomorrow we're communist. Communist strategies. There are people in the world who really don't want to see the reality of things. Okay. Trump is God. Whatever he says is fine. He can be criticized. There's no problem here. With Trump to the bitter end. Sorry, but no, not here. No. Sorry that the channel is an anti-Trump piece of crap, but I'm telling you, go to the Bald Guy's channel to see what they're saying about Trump. The bald guy must be having a great time. This is great. You'd have to be ignorant. But there are a lot of ignorant people in the world. This can't be avoided either. It's something that comes with nature. Oh my God, what Russia just blew up in Kiev. I'm going to show you the image. One of the most beautiful monasteries in the world. These horrible things happen in war. I'm going to show you a photo. Let's take a break here. One moment. Can anyone tell me what military objective there is for a fanatic like Putin to launch drones and missiles at churches? I don't know. But that's another one of the things we have there on the table. No, but let's see. Nothing to celebrate. Israel can't be happy about this. By the way, what's burning? You're going to see it now on screen. It's this. There are horrible things in war. Horrible things. That's one of them. There's no value in that. What else does Trump say? Suspend for 15 to 20 years. So in 15 to 20 years, people will remember that Trump made a bad deal with Obama. What happens is that in 15 to 20 years, they will already have a nuclear weapon. I, in fact, estimate, just to make a bit of with some calculations, they could have it by October. Marlon says, this channel misinforms and gives wrong information. Well, go to the New York Times, open it, you'll see the interview there, or go to Fox News, and you'll see Donald Trump saying what we're saying here. I'm just reading the headline. Marlon, if you want, start your own channel, start reporting truthfully, and go ahead and say that everything is fine, that everything is part of a plan. That in a year, Donald Trump is going to come and liberate the Iranians, and he'll resurrect the 50,000 who died in January. Do it. It's okay. Look, starting a YouTube channel is very easy. You make the logos, get everything set up, and start talking. People will start coming in, and they'll probably listen to you. It really doesn't bother me that after more than 3 years, I've been here every day. Someone comes along, maybe some fool or has no sense at all, and criticizes us. I honestly don't care. I don't care. People who have been here for a while already know that we tell it like it is. It is. Exactly. Anyway, Israel hasn't responded yet. Israel is still there, quiet, not saying anything, not speaking, not giving anything away. No. I live thinking, what do I do now? Where do I go now? Now this way, now that way. That's it. He has to go somewhere. Something has to happen. What do you guys think is going to happen? How's the air traffic? Well, that's a good question. It's maritime traffic. We know there are 12 sea mines. Maybe we could take a boat to remove them. We could use a boat from the Gaza or Hormuz flotilla to remove mines. Because now Iran is showing them. They're there. Look, there are the 12. Now there's one more, I think. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Mines. Wow. Now we have a couple more. 14 mines. Are they there? Do we remove them or leave them? Are we doing a survey to remove mines? This is unbelievable. It's the craziest thing you can see in all of history. But now I'm curious too, or I would be curious. By the way, I think something just happened. One moment, I think something just happened that might be interesting. I'm curious to know what the Iranians are going to do to Ghalibaf and Arachi for signing. False alarm. Nothing has happened so far. Bibi isn't my friend anymore. Now he's a difficult guy. It seems unbelievable. This isn't a memo. This is a surrender. That agreement is a surrender. The fact that the United States is signing it shows how desperate they are, or the pressure that people in Donald Trump's cabinet are putting on him. I don't. There's no way around this. I insist. This is going to hurt him within his party. Lindsey Graham has already commented, and we'll play it now. It's going to take a toll on him internationally with his allies, and it's going to cost him with Israel. And it's a big price to pay. Situation in disguise. Everything is the same around here. 2 tanker planes on patrol. Some from Ben Gurion. Some started leaving Ben Gurion. They're heading north. I imagine they're already being taken away, or they should be taken away. Sooner, the better. Let them clear Ben Gurion so we can travel to Israel so there can be flights. So we can finally travel again to enjoy that great country until the next war. It's nothing. What does Trump's friend say? One of his right-hand men, or very right wing in the Republican Party. Lindsey Graham, thank you. I'm pleased to know that the Memorandum of Understanding with Iran has been agreed upon establishing a 60-day ceasefire. Let's be clear. For 60 days, the Strait of Hormuz will be open. Then we'll see. I'm glad the Memorandum of Understanding with Iran was agreed upon to allow the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. I'll closely monitor upcoming talks on Iran's nuclear program and related issues. I'm somewhat concerned because Iran's view of the agreement seems difficult. It's different from what the U.S. negotiating team claims. Of course, Wyckoff has sold one thing, but to Iran, he sold something else. Wyckoff also enjoys doing these things. According to our law, any nuclear agreement with Iran will be sent to Congress for review and a vote. I look forward to reviewing the final product. And I believe it's imperative that the architect of the agreement, Vice President Baines, and his negotiating partners are a part of the process of presenting the final agreement to Congress. Congratulations to everyone, to all of us for getting us to this point in time. I'll say that. Notice how Lindsey Graham points at Baines and says, you're going to have to answer for it. JD, you're going to have to stand in front of Congress and explain to them why nuclear dust isn't coming out of Iran right now. Why? $300 billion in investment, and why $26 billion released from Iran's active funds under US control. Why aren't we going to talk about missiles? Why aren't we going to talk about the funding for Hezbollah and the proxy groups that are in the area creating chaos on this planet? All of this is going to be J.D. Baines who gets burned at the stake, not Marco Rubio. J.D. Baines. So what I've been saying or commenting on is that Marco Rubio has his own plan. Calm down. If it's not now, in a couple of years, this will be resolved. That's right. It gets resolved. or it should be resolved. But as you can see, even within the Republican Party already, the thing with the draft is crazy. Well, agrarian matrix is not. Marandi, who earlier said nothing would be signed, now says
This, I'll drink some water.
he says Netanyahu's stupidity broke the deadlock at the negotiating table. Contrary to some speculations, there was no final text until his criminal attack forced Trump to accept Iran's demands, especially regarding Lebanon. When the United States saw that Iran was leaving and wasn't going to sign, they rushed and said, whatever you ask for. That's what Iran is saying. And Grandpa Turureta, who they're finally going to bury over 5 days. For 5 days, they're going to be burying Grandpa Turureta, who will be there, thinking and saying, well, they killed me for this. In the end, no nuclear war or anything. C-17 planes are already arriving to load and transport equipment. I'm serious. There are a lot of C-17 planes on that mountain. A few that have arrived in the last few hours. C-5 has already left the region. These are the ones heading over there. Maybe Pedro Sanchez will open the airspace for Donald Trump so he can go home with the 60-day memorandum. And he said to make it easier. If Netanyahu doesn't honor the agreement, it won't be implemented, and the world will know who and what entity to blame for the coming economic disaster, says Marandi. If Israel doesn't obey this, it has to obey. Israel, since it's not a sovereign country, has to obey what Trump and Iran say. And then we'll see what happens. Thank you. Macron is very happy. Macron is very happy. He's after they burn Paris. They say, well, no, Iran, don't burn anything, or we might end up with no more cities. Well, right now, this cargo C-17 is arriving. I don't know what for. If it's to load up and leave or to stay. We don't know. But that's happening right now. There it is. Defending Israel means protecting my culture, roots, and existence. Thank you. Security strategy of history. I'll never leave this channel. Estrategia helped me daily during my depression. Thank you. Please never leave, Joshua. If this channel has helped you at a time in your life when you felt bad or were going through a tough time, to not feel alone, then it has already been worth it to open this channel and everything we've done. Thank you. So you've got your family here. Thank you so much. This really moved me. Trump isn't above the law. If he does wrong, he should be questioned. That's how it works. People from the same Republican Party ask questions of Marco Rubio, Jerry Baines, Pete Hesed, and Donald J. Trump. That's called democracy. When you have the freedom to ask questions and not be satisfied with something your representative is doing, that's called democracy. Democracy. But here, we don't just applaud everything. I'm very sorry. You have to be critical. Very critical. Thank you. YouTube has an issue. Spanish channels have over 20,000 viewers. To me, these are pro-terrorist and spread misinformation. No, okay. I've always said it. If we wanted to get 100,000 people watching live on the channel, we could do it, talking badly about Israel. Of course. Easy. Very easy. We do it. Bam, bam, bam. And we make it happen. We're not working on it, obviously. We have a bit of decency. We won't sign things we don't understand. That aren't. Well, that's it then. At least in Israel, they'll sleep tonight. At least. Then we'll see if anyone gets to sleep or not. It seems so. Maybe Hezbollah will launch attacks. Maybe Israel will launch attacks. Thank you. It's like when I said in the Middle East, things can change very quickly in an hour. An hour is a lifetime. 20 minutes is a year. I think it's a night to take things in, to think, to leave comments here at the end of this program. I think it's a night to reflect carefully, to learn. Life is learning. From the moment we are born, we are learning, and until we die, we keep learning things, even up to death. What we have seen today is difficult. What we're about to see will be even harder. But there is something that is clear amid all this mystery. From Donald J. Trump to Netanyahu, wherever he may be, from Jerry Baines, from Marco Rubio, and something that everyone recognizes. Israel is special. Those walls you're seeing, they have seen many wars, many more than we will ever know in our lifetime. Thank you. They are silent witnesses of real stories that even today, humans couldn't explain how they happened. Nonsensical things, things that don't make sense. And here another one is being written, another story, another wound on that wall, on those stones, on that piece of humanity's origin on Earth. Family, thank you very much for trusting this channel. Say it calmly. I like it. I don't like it. For being here with us, for supporting us, and for understanding that we are human, that sometimes we make mistakes, and that makes us much greater. Have a very good night. Israel, its capital, Jerusalem, it's still there, waiting for us, each and every one of us, to live it and feel it. One more day.